665.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
The entire police state control grid being set up across the world by multinational corporations that control the United Nations, the U.S., England, Europe, is being set up for patriots, for libertarians, conservatives, gun owners, returning veterans. That's in the Homeland Security reports that we got from law enforcement sources and broke last year. But I want to go over some articles coming up in this news blitz where even the Border Patrol is being used on citizens, not the illegals, and tie that in with the 800-plus sanctuary cities to illustrate this for people, and how even the supposed smart fence was never built by Bush. They built 50-something miles of it on the 2,300-mile border, and it was all for show. And ABC News reported illegal aliens were hired by Homeland Security to build the fence. The Associated Press reported that when they do bust illegals, ICE takes them from Homeland Security and gives them green cards and gives them jobs in the government. I mean, look, the government wants the illegals here. And what this illustrates, among a lot of things, is that the government could care less about real security, and that they only tell us they're setting up this police state to keep us safe from men in caves and Central Asia and the Middle East and from illegals, and that it's all selectively enforced and completely rogue and criminal. So that's coming up amongst other important news today. Now, look, I spontaneously yesterday got really mad at Debra Medina, who we've supported. I'm tired of being betrayed by politicians. I don't think she's an evil or bad person. But for those that don't know, she's running for governor in Texas. Why is this important nationwide? Because her strong showing is getting other people to file to run for governor and state house and mayor and county commissioner all over the country. You got 30, almost 40 states now. What is it, 37, 38, moving to declare 9th and 10th Amendment. Very exciting things happening all over the country to block the unconstitutional activities of the federal government. So that's the very good news on that front. But to have her go on Glenn Beck and say, well, I'm not a 9/11 truther, but other people have a right to speak out. And then she gave a bunch of TV interviews on Houston and Dallas TV. We played clips of that here, where she said that, I think it's, what's the quote? Very healthy and good that people are questioning, and that the towers did fall strangely, how the buildings fell. And I was like, man, this lady really does stick to her guns. She's great. Then I hear the audio of her on a radio show a few days ago. Mark Davis in Dallas, it's a big show, a lot of listeners, fills in for Rush Limbaugh. He says we're despicable, we're a cult, we're bad, we're evil, we're horrible. And she says, I agree, absolutely, they're terrible. And I get mad about it and say she better explain herself, and you notice that hasn't happened. Okay, instead we've gotten hundreds of calls and emails. It's the same thing from listeners, that their people tell them, oh, well, we're going to clarify, and she didn't say exactly that, and it's taken out of context. No, it's not. And so it's getting worse by the minute. Now, this is a national, international show. People listening in Canada, Germany, Russia, Brazil. And so it's wide open phones today. You can call in about whatever you want. And I think we've probably had 10 callers or so on Medina. One of them disagreed with me. The other people agreed. And as soon as we put the guy on hold, because they weren't sure I was going back to him, he got real mad off air and was saying, shill, shill, shill. Yeah, I'm a shill. Sure. I'm an Easter bunny, too, and a Chinese jet pilot from Pluto. I'm the king of planet Pop-Tart. No. Debra Medina did what she did, throwing us under the bus, and I'm not going to play politics and roll over to that. I want to hear, is she going to roll over on every other issue? That's what we want to hear. Okay? We were her biggest support. That is 9/11 truthers. I mean, again, the lowest national polls, 36%. The highest scientific poll, 84%. Angus and Reed, New York Times. I mean, we're not despicable people. Okay? I was called despicable. You were called despicable. I want that clarified. And if there's a cult following, a few people out there that, don't like that, so what? Go listen to Glenn Beck. Go listen to Rush Limbaugh. Go support Barack Obama. We're not trying to win popularity contests. If I was doing that, I would have done like a lot of Republican and other talk show hosts and supported Obama early on. Pat Robertson said he's of God. Socialism is good. He is unstoppable. Pull up Pat Robertson for later. Pat Robertson says Obama invincible or Obama's agenda of God. Watson wrote an article about it. I mean, it's a really disgusting video. I remember when Pat Robertson in 2000, and I was on a lot of Christian stations like the show, Christian news stations, and a bunch of them got mad. He was on CNN and said we've got to have stronger Planned Parenthood and more abortion in China. And I said, my God, that's horrible from the supposed pro-life, kingpin, except for maybe Dr. Dobson, maybe bigger when it comes to pro-life. I said, that's horrible. A bunch of them got mad. I said, good, get mad. I mean, he said it. He's the one that said it. He's the one that did it. Not out of context on Wolf Blitzer. Okay? Glenn Beck's running around saying global warming's real all of a sudden. So is Sarah Palin, right as it's crashing and burning. I'm not the one saying that. I have to call these people out, okay? That's what I do. I call myself out when I've made mistakes, but this isn't them saying we made a mistake. This is, hey. I mean, we got a bunch of emails, and you heard a call earlier on air going, well, they're saying this is edited video or edited audio. Yeah. Well, I'd like to see that officially said. That is outrageous if that is the case. In fact, we need to just go ahead and make a data page on Medina. I mean, here's the ABC. Give me a document cam shot on this for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. ABC13.com. In fact, pull up the actual video page on screen for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. Pull it up. I mean, I know you guys already captured the video, but have Jaron that found the original clip this morning from their site, get that IM over and pull it up on screen. We'll play this for you. We won't have time to go to calls and cover news, but I can play the whole 11-minute clip. We can just play the whole thing for you. It's unedited. It's healthy. It's good. The towers fell suspiciously. Week and a half later, we're despicable. And I'm like, well, what is this? What is this double talk? Don't you ask questions! No! All right, going back to, who was I talking to last? Frank in North Carolina. Frank, finish up your point.
Yeah, a lot of your critics, they criticize us as being these mind-numbed robots, like, Rush Limbaugh listeners or whatnot. But yet, when we think for ourselves, you didn't tell me what to think on this. As soon as I heard that clip, I smelled a red flag. I mean, something didn't seem right about it. But I knew
that's a COINTELPRO talking point. We've actually seen CENTCOM operators from CENTCOM IPs say that, oh, you're just an Alex Jones drone, because they're really worried about what we do here. Go ahead.
I understand that politicians have to compromise in an environment like we're in right now. I mean, speaking the truth is a revolutionary act. I understand that, but she handled that wrongly. She certainly could have handled that better. I don't trust her. I cannot trust her after that. I disavow any support I had for her. I'm a liberty-loving American who believes, in the ideals of this country. I'm a veteran. I'm a conservative, always have been. And I'm a 9/11 truther, and I'm proud of it. I voted for Ron Paul in the primary. He's not my favorite guy in the world, to be honest with you. I don't agree with you on everything, but you know what? Something's not right about that. And also, I just want to say, I really
Frank, I mean, it's not that we'd even disagree with her. It's that it's a total 180. And that's the big concern here. And what, if she does other 180s, we're not supposed to criticize her or be concerned?
Exactly. Do you remember the pilot, Chesley B. Sullenberger, who heroically crashed the plane into the water? I think it was the Hudson River, wasn't it?
Say it again?
The pilot, the supposedly heroic pilot, and he may well be, his name was Sullenberger. He's the one, I think. Yeah. Well, I wanted to bring this up on your radar. I know you don't have time to look into it, but maybe someone else can. He is going around the neocon talk show circuit now, promoting full-body scanners, and he says everything that can be done should be done. and all this, and they're making a big hero out of him. Apparently, he's quit his pilot career, and he's going around making these speeches and everything. And I don't know if he was necessarily a bad person to begin with, the neocon, but they've gotten a hold of him, and they're using him to promote all this stuff. And it's very diabolical to listen to the questions, and he answers just the way they want him to. The naked body scanners, taking our baby's blood at birth without warrants, secretly, video cams in the computers watching everybody. This is